We are back with another lesson, another lecture within the school, and I'm so happy that you're here to learn more about the very principled, very basic, fundamental components of the yoga practice, the yoga science, and that is the yamas and the niyamas. So these two are very different than the rest of the 8 limbs. These two are going to have to do with our emotional and our interactive components of our personalities. The first one I want to go over is the yamas. I like to refer to them as the ethical restraints. Okay, so this is just going to be the way you approach others in other situations. Now, typically I teach this when I do my teacher trainings is so that I can give you a personal understanding and also a way that you would have to interact with others. So I'm going to do the same thing here. This ethical restraints, there are 5. There are 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. So 5 ethical restraints and 5 moral observances. So the first yama, the first restraint, is non-violence. I'm going to give them all a negative to help you really remember. So the first is non-violence. The second is non-lying. The third is non-stealing. The fourth is to be non-cynical. And the fifth is to not covet. So you can hear very close similarities to another list of rules, or I don't know, maybe commandments in the West that we're very familiar with. But here I want to break it down. So the first one is ahimsa. The opposite of himsa, violence. So we're going to say it's non-violence, but in what context, in what way? Well, this is non-violence to innocence. It's non-violence or non-allowing of violence towards innocence. So it becomes a very protective standpoint, and that's what yogis are. We are warriors of consciousness, and specifically innocent consciousness, which without all the attachments and without all these layers, we would all truly be that innocent consciousness. So we've got to protect innocence, and we've got to protect all life, really, the innocent life that acts and reacts out of instinct. We can help them, we can protect them because we have free will. We don't have to act and react out of instinct. We can act and react out of choice. The second one, Satya. Satya is sat, truth. So if you're thinking to be truthful, then you're thinking to not lie, avoid lying. So that's how we make that one into a negative, so that the list is consistent and very easy to remember for you. So not lying, of course, it means to not lie to others, to not lie in what you're doing or what you're feeling, or how you might be thinking at the certain moment. But it also means not to lie to yourself. So you could see with ahimsa, not allowing violence to yourself. Satya, not lying to yourself, and this is telling ourselves things, whether it's how bad we might have done or how ashamed we should feel, these negative thoughts, negative attached emotions, even positive ones, even ones like pride, things like that. They can become very rooted in delusion or self-lies, so we avoid those and we stay Satya. The next one is Asteya, non-stealing. So it's Asteya, non-stealing. And that one, again, is pretty simple. Don't steal from others. Don't steal their time. Don't steal their energy. Don't steal their belongings. What we definitely want to keep safeguarded is our peace. We want to never let that be stolen or taken away from us, because in reality, it would be a choice of ours to give it away. So no stealing. The next one is Brahmacharya, which is to be a child of the divine, to be a student of the divine. And this is always going to help us stay non-cynical. We're going to be childlike. So we're going to feel this world in awe, and we're going to live in amazement and in gratitude daily. So the other more cynical components of life, where we become frustrated and we want everything to go along our own path, those things can't really bind to us, because those aren't the characteristics of that childlike innocence or childlike mind. They are more childish thoughts. Me, mine, and if it doesn't go my way, then I'm gonna kick and scream about it. No. We're going to be Brahmachari. We are going to just go with the flow and be in awe of it all and be grateful every single day. Now the last one, Aparigraha. You hear the again, Aparigraha, and it means to not covet. So in the way that you might look out and see someone else's car or see someone else's house, you might want those things for yourself. Well, there's a very unique way to approach this topic within Sanskrit, within yoga, and that's to say that it's not the belongings themselves even that you want to covet. It's the work that the person did to get there. That's what you'd like to covet. That's what you should actually be looking at as a goal, as something to accomplish, as something to work towards. Because what they got, the car or the big house or whatever it might be that you actually think could be enjoyable, pleasurable for you, you're not going to want that thing without the hard work that came along with it. You may have heard the saying that it's not about the destination, but it's about enjoying the journey, or the greatest heights, the greatest views, they come after the longest hikes, or the hardest climbs. So that's the mentality that yogis have. We want the hard climb. We want the long journey. We want that enjoyable journey, because if we get to the goal and we find out that it's not exactly what we were expecting or what we were hoping for, then we might be disappointed. And disappointment is always rooted in expectation. So take those moments of coveting and expectation away and truly free yourself from those more worldly attachments, more material attachments. Those are the Yamas, the ethical restraints, and as you could see, I could keep going on and on about them. They are very, very powerful observances within our own lives, things to become more aware of when we are violent to ourselves, or we allow violence to other innocents, when we tell ourselves lies or we tell others lies, even if they're white lies, those really small ones. Then we have the non-stealing, so we want to be more giving, and we don't want things stolen, so we wouldn't steal from others. You could kind of hear there's a theme here. It's almost like everything within this list is to do to others as you would do to yourself, or as you would have someone else do to you. That's called the golden rule, and every single tradition worldwide has had the golden rule for millennia. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's very easy to say. It's a lot harder to do, and the Yamas are a great place to start. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, checking in for your lecture today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and namaste.